Today we're talking about the long game, be a long-term success. As LOs, we tend to look at our next deal and don't look past. It's a shame when I talk to a lot of you all and you're 95 or 90% new business. Your client, as I'll show you today, are in this business and in their home for 30 years. So if you're only in their life for 30 days, that's crazy. So I'm going to show you today how to maintain that relationship, how to be a long-term success, because I'm doing it every day. This is the office where we work out of. We do the same thing that you guys do. So I get it. If your mentality can shift today, right now, the whole world changes. The market slows down for you. You're not so rate or referral driven. You're people focused. Let's examine together the long game and why you should never retire, because money is always on the table if you're in real estate. Number one, intentional relationships with your clients make it impossible to stop working because your clients always have needs. The number one R rate in mortgage is not rate, it's relationship. Relationship matters the most. And you can get people throwing it around, better customer service, better, but what does it really mean? It means I know you, we have a relationship. So are you helping them with the best mortgage or are you helping them with the best life? And start to change your mindset to have a relationship. If you think about your friends and your family, you know their kids, it's not hard. It's not straining because you're intentionally working on the relationship, because your borrowers are people who need to borrow money all the time. So if you, number one, have a relationship, but also fill their need of solving their money problems, you are one of the most popular people in their network because you help them and you can relate to them. This is why the long game matters, because people don't have advice. And our consumer who's buying homes today, who's 32 years old, doesn't have any real guidance other than what they read online. And they need a vetted expert to help show them the way home. So the stats that I found through NerdWallet were only 4% of Americans age 18 to 24 use a financial advisor at all. That's it. We're all on our own in this space of getting through understanding how to spend our money, how to save. Only 7% of Americans age 25 to 32 use one. That's your first-time home buyer. So by that metric, the average first-time home buyer is 32 years old. 93% of buyers right now have no advisor. Maybe their parents or their friends, but that's it. But your parents are not going to dive deep into your finances and go over your assets and your liabilities. They're more a sounding board for what's the market doing and should I buy this home and do you like the property? Is it a good investment? Is the price right? But they need people to give them guidance and advice. If you can win the relationship game, but also win the guidance game on their mortgage, on real estate, it's a done deal. You've got them for 30 years, no longer 30 days. So change our mindset to be intentionally relating to our customers and have a relationship that's always in their life. We talk about it all the time. 4 calls a year, touching them all the time. People know the BS when your CRM drips on them and says, "Happy birthday, Alan." They know that's canned and that's garbage. Don't let your CRM wish your clients a happy birthday. Send them a text, send them a message, call them on their birthday. Ask what they're doing for their birthday. A birthday candle email is not warming their hearts. Calling them and asking where their wife is taking them to dinner and what their kids are doing for them, that's the difference maker. That's a relationship. So technology, for most people, is going to hurt them because it's going to make them lazy. I will beat them every single time because I will know my clients' inner workings of their finances and how to help them for the long run. So let's look at the average American with $135,000 in debt. That's not the average homeowner, that's the average American citizen who is over 32 years old has $135,000 in debt. The average consumer has over $6,000 in credit card debt. The average mortgage has $185,000. So if you look at how much debt these people are in, related to the savings that they have, it's lopsided. The average person's got less than $2,000 or $3,000 liquid in their account if they have $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt. So are you helping these people restructure their debt? It's not about the interest rate. It's about the person and you relating to them. And if you know they're going to do 21 loans, you best be on the phone with them consistently, finding out what they need and what their lifestyle dictates, because their lifestyle dictates the need that they have. For example, kids are going back to school this week. People just finished traveling for July. What happens in August and September? They get their credit card bills in the mail and they're stressed and they're going to pay their credit card bill because you haven't called them. And the only thing they get in the mail is a letter from some random person saying, hey, you can get this credit card debt consolidation loan. And they're calling that person back because that came in the mail and you aren't even calling your clients. So being intentional and relating, irregardless of the market, is how you'll be in this game for a long time. The rate on a mortgage is not the most important thing. I would much rather be worth it, make a fair split for my pricing, get 2 to 3 points built into my branch's margin, and have my LOs go out there and kill it in the sales game, and us get paid fairly for the work we're doing for our clients. So I was talking to a guy at this conference at the OC Connect last week, and he was an OG. He was probably in his 60s and 70s, and he's like, you know what? People don't get it today. He goes, it's all about purchase business, because you know what? All of the refi business is going right back to the services anyways. And if you're doing a loan for a client of yours and that loan is serviced by, let's say, Ginny or by, we'll just call it Flagstar, then if you do a loan for a client, it's disservice because they can offer them a better rate than you can. And I'm thinking to myself, you are so out of touch with reality because clients need us to advise them. And all the servicer can do is cut their rate. But what about the client's pain? What about their going through? What about the vacations that they can't afford to pay for? What about the wedding coming up? What about the funeral? What about upsizing, downsizing? What about the fact that they have a job change? What about the fact that they want to invest in more properties? Become an elite advisor and relate to your client, and the rate is not the most important thing. If you only want to sell rate, then yes, let that business go back to the servicers and you go work purchase business for the rest of your career and be atrocious, and every single month you have to grind it out and beg for business and get leads from realtors. And how long can you do that? Until you're 50, until you're 60, until you're 70? And then what? You're starting all over again? I don't care if you're 60 right now. Start to work on embedding yourself with your clients, and the next 20 or 30 years will pay dividends. Get over the fear and start to build a deep-rooted relationship with your clients. Like you are with your friends. Know their kids' names, their special events, and things going on in their lives. And help them make moves. If you call them, you'll get them to do more loans because you can know what they need. And realize that you know more about these people financially than anybody else in your life. And that makes you critically dangerous. But you're a resource. With a full 1003, you have their birthday, their social, you know their checking account numbers, where they work, what their declarations are like, other properties that they own. You know, all those things, yet we take a 1003 and we just throw it away when we close the loan because you know what? I want more purchase business. Well, if your buyers turn into refires, they will be repeat buyers. They'll move up. So over the course of 30 years, if they buy multiple properties, isn't that purchase business? And if you have that deal, you can give it back to your realtor. So 3 steps to play the long game. And if you're struggling right now in the business, if you're struggling for leads or you're tight on your ends and you can't make money, it's because you've been playing the short game forever. How about play the long game for a long time? And right now, because your book of business is so big, deals fall out of the trees because rates went down. So 3 steps on the last page here in playing the long game for a long time. Number 1, don't only call about rates. Call because you care about what they're going through. And sometimes don't even talk about the mortgage rate or the market. Just ask Alan, Brandon, what do you need? What's going on? Brian, how's your life? Next, show an interest in their lives. Don't just say, okay, let's get back to the market. When they talk about their life and it's their daughter's birthday, ask about how it was and get them to open up about their lives. You spent 30 days with a client. Don't throw it away. Turn 30 days into 30 years and let them know you'll always be there for their debt load. Let them know that we're family. In these 30 days, we didn't go to summer camp together and just let those memories go. We built a bond together. I helped you get your family in a home, and I want to be in your life for 30 years. I want to know what you need. And how cool is it that whenever you need something financially, you can just call me. Whenever I want a friend, I'll just call you. So be more intentional and turn 30 days into 30 years. And for the rest of your career, you can have a long time with your clients and make a lot more money. That's all I got for you today. Go out there and crush it. Month end, be the best you can, and go out there and crush it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. We had a ton of fun shooting it. We've got a lot more content like it coming out, so stay tuned. If you're a loan officer or realtor and want my team to handle your social media, click on the button below.